Okay guys, good evening and welcome to the JTCC. This is the Eldar YouTube and welcome to Monday night. It is round number 3 of the JTCC. As I say, it is the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box yet again this evening. So I believe Darren is going to be racing or he's elsewhere, but at the moment I do apologise, the stream has only just come up. So we are here at the Palace of Speed, as it's known in real life, and that is obviously Monza. So yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're watching the stream. And yes, sit back and watch these GR2 Japanese Super GT cars as they're known in real life. So I will go through the points and I will go through the scenario for the race itself this evening, as well as other things. But at the moment, as I say, I will go through the points and I will go through who is here as well, as per usual, regarding certain things within the commentary box. But yes, we are here at Monza. The weather is looking likely it's going to be a scorcher, and also proud sponsors for the event is PJ Parcels. So thank you to each and every one of them. The cars will have every single sponsorship from the Eldar Racing. That's the Shell Lorma Motorsport logo, ESR Idol for commentary, and of course Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs, as well as PJ Parcels. So without them we wouldn't be racing and we wouldn't be doing what we are doing tonight. So as I'm going to say, guys, I'll go through the points as we do. And yes, it is going to be a wonderful evening of racing. So I'll just double check that everyone is okay. Well, everyone, I presume everyone's okay. I hope you guys can technically hear me. We'll just go through certain things on the stream. Yeah, right, that's okay, that's good. So my voice is heard on the stream. So yes, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're watching the stream. And yes, I will go through the points. So in first place is none other than Rob Schauler. He's on 66 points. He's had double wins so far in the Red Bull sponsored Nissan GTR. His closest nemesis is Christian Swire, who's on 53. So speaking of Christian, he's here in the orange, sort of metallically orange Nissan GTR. Is on 53. Then you have Ryan McVeigh. Unfortunately, Ryan, due to work commitments and obviously homeschooling due to UK being in lockdown, he will not be making it this evening, which is a bit of a shame. He's on 52. Then you have God Give John, aka Panos. He's on 48. Then you have Andy White, aka Biggin. If Andy White is in the lobby, I'm not too sure whether he is at the moment, but he is on 40 points. Then you have Jay Westall, aka Technical Racing. He's on 32 in that beautiful Cusco Honda NSX. It's actually quite a nice looking livery, and it looks really nice in the sun here at Monza as he goes through his scoring. He is on 32 points. Then you have Paris, which is Illusion. I believe he's in the GTR. Let's have a look. But he is on 28. Then you have STM Splash, which is Katanis. He's on 24. And then you have Nick Sargent, the founder of ESR, which is in the Sunny D Nissan GTR. He is on 22. Then you have Kieran Welsh, not Kieran, Leon. Sorry, Leon Welsh. He is on 18. I believe Leon is not feeling he's feeling under the weather at the moment. He's on 18 points. Then you have Simon Smith. I believe if Simon's making it tonight, he's on 16 points. Then you have Neil Hall, aka Noddy's mate, or Zippy as we like to call him. He's on 14. And then you have yours truly, myself, even though now I'm in the commentary box on 13 points. There's a new guy this evening, and that is Phil Wilson, here in the Nissan GTR. What a nice livery that is looking. I believe that's the Axon sponsored GTR, so yes, it is. It's looking quite nice. Potentially, he's new to the series, but he's not new to Eldar Racing, and it will be very interesting to see what goes on. So, as I say, I'm your host for this evening, the one and only Hoppers, taking over from Darren this evening, which you know, it's a bit of a surprise that, you know, it was kind of late. Well, it wasn't late in the day deal, but it was kind of like, right, okay, I was going to race, but then I got asked, do I want, I believe, yeah, so as I was saying, there was a deal late in the day where we could technically do commentary this evening, so yeah, it'd be exciting to see what happens. I like the GR2 Championship. It just, at the moment, you know, is kind of weird to be in the comments box and being out on track, but you know, I don't mind either way. But yeah, it should be spectacular. It should be interesting to see what happens here at the Palace of Speed in Italy at Monza. So we shall see within the racing. So we have 10-minute qualifying at we'll do have 10-minute qualifying at 8 o'clock, and then we do have, I believe it's 8 o'clock, yes it is 8 o'clock, sorry, and then we do have the and then we do have a 50-minute race. So the 50-minute race will potentially will be a thriller, and it will be an exciting one this evening. And also the tyre compounds for this evening, you do have I believe you have super softs for qualifying, so they are only allowed for qualifying, and then you have a mixture of soft, medium, hard, and you must use them within a 10-minute time frame, or I believe the hards do last up to 20 minutes, but there is sort of like a 10-minute time frame that you have to technically use them within, but it will be interesting to see what happens within each of the compounds. And obviously, you know, like I say, super softs is only for qualifying, so the drivers may be starting on what they plan to start the race on, as Jay Westall gets it wrong out of, I believe that is, as Simon's just joined the room, so I'll just pull up the track map just because Monza is still, well, it's not new to me, but it is, it still has the corners that I technically should know. So it is, where are we? So it is, as Jay goes through the Variante Ascari and then going up to the Parabolica, then you have Variante del Ratafiglio, which is the first chicane, which is kind of tight and narrow. Then you have the Curva Grande, and then obviously Variante della and then you have the Lesmos, and then obviously Scari. But yes, it will be very interesting to see. It will be quite punishing on these tracks. It will be punishing on the tyres as well around here, because the curbs here aren't curbs aren't forgiving as they would be. But as I say, you've got the one and only Hoppers in the commentary box this evening. It is going to be exciting, it is going to be one of the best. But yes, we will see what happens this evening, and as I say, this GR2 championship. Christian Swire, who hosts it, Scrap Drifter, who people are asking because he's saying there's a pit bug, but I believe Christian's gone for a smoke, so hopefully he sees the messages in a bit, because people are struggling to get out of pit lane. But it'll be interesting, as I say. But yeah, I did drop my croissant on the floor then. So anyway, just bear with 1 second, guys, while I check the chat for the YouTube stream. Ah, that's cool, Phil. Evening, mate. Axiom or Axum is a car body shop that he works at in Peterborough. So yeah, nice one, mate. It looks the business, I must say. I do like it. So we'll see what happens. I believe that was that not Neil? Yes, it was Neil. But yes. So Scrap Drifter's just going to change the time settings and see if the pit bug is okay after. So just bear with 1 second, guys. And Mr. Super 64, I know that's Jerry Dobbin, saying go Noddy. Hello, mate. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Hopefully, we do have, I believe, the time is going to be changing. So just bear with, guys, while the track gets sorted. So hopefully we should be getting ready for this evening, and it should be very interesting. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was just having something to eat. So yes, this is the JTCC, the PJ Parcels. The PJ Parcels JTCC, brought to you by the Eldar Sim YouTubers Nick Sargent, just the founder of ESR and the Sunny D. GTR goes a bit off at video, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I believe things are good. I was munching a croissant, mate. That's what I was doing. Oh. So yeah, I do apologise. I was eating a croissant, but started eating and I didn't want to be heard on stream. So it should be very interesting. But yes, I'm just double checking. So we've got quite a few people this evening, and it will be very interesting to see what happens within obviously the Eldar sim racing. So yes, it'll be very technical, and I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to Monza this evening. As you can tell around here, it will not, cars will be technically, cars will be getting in, not in the way, but there will be quite a few traffic issues around here. So you will have to watch for what is going on. But hopefully this evening we'll have a good race. Obviously we had 2 rounds already. We had the first round at Interlagos, and then we went to obviously Bathurst Map Panorama as of last week. We're here at Monza this evening in glorious sunshine, although I believe the weather over in Monza at the moment is very cold. So yes, sit back, grab a drink, grab something to eat, and enjoy the stream, my friends. It will be potentially one of the most amazing evenings of racing, and it will be potentially one of the best, and probably very exciting to see what happens. So as I say, second time in the commentary box for me doing this commentary. I normally should be out on track racing, but I believe Darren wanted to race, so I said yeah, fair enough, you can race. And you know, I'm not really fussed whether I race or do commentaries, so you know, it'd be interesting to see what happens within obviously times. And obviously, you know, Monza is quite, it's not technical, but it's quite an amazing track. As I say, it's known as the Palace of Speed. So, you know, back in the old day they had the banking which goes over certain parts of the circuit, which I believe it goes over the next bit. So it will be interesting. I believe Noddy's mate lost control out of Parabolica there. He'll be okay, he'll pick himself up. Obviously Neil will do very well to pick himself up. He's obviously, you know, he's obviously new to the GR2s. He's not new to the Eldar Sim racing though. He's raced in a few championships now. He's back for another season with the Clios with Darren on a Friday, so that will be very interesting. And I believe he's also in the Honda NSX Championship that takes place on Wednesday, and he's also part of the Peugeot 208 GTI Cup that starts a week tomorrow. So yes, there is some drivers that I know. Simon Smith in that beautiful Epson livery NSX that actually looks the business, as well as Jay Westall's Cusco NSX. You know, the liveries of some of these cars are just absolutely fantastic. You can't fault them, to be fair. And I tell you, it's fantastic to see. And I tell you what, I'm amazed how well they actually really look on track as well as on stream. You know, it's fantastic. So we do have qualifying at, I believe qualifying will be at 8 o'clock for 10 minutes. So I believe, who was that getting it wrong? Was that, I believe that was Phil, I think, or was it Nick? I can't even remember, but never mind. So yeah, it'll be interesting, as I say. But we will be looking forward to the... excuse me, there's a burp down everyone's ear. But I believe Andy White's having a bit of trouble getting on at the moment, so we'll be waiting. But it'll be very interesting to see what happens within, as God Gift John there, aka Panos, drifts it out of the second Lesmo, or drifts it into the second Lesmo, should I say. But yes, it'll be interesting to see what these guys can do. You know, there's a mixture, I think, between Noddy's mate, between Noddy's mate and a few of the others have got Nissan GTRs, and there is a beautiful Jamaican Nissan GTR within Darren ESR Idol 4. Darren does the commentary for the Elder Sim Clio Cup. He normally does the commentary for this, but he's wanting to race, so hopefully it will help, you know. He raced at Bathurst last week, you know, and he's had, I think as he flashes the lights there of that beautiful Jamaican. I do actually like the Jamaican Nissan GTR as he fires it out of the Scalry there. So as I was saying, most of the field do have technically Nissan GTRs. There is 3 people with Honda NSXs, and then if I was racing I would have the sole Lexus. So yes, unfortunately the Hoppers colours of the Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yes, okay, I'm a Wolverhampton Wanderers fan. Just to go up slightly off topic for a moment, I have the Lexus in the Wolves colours, so yeah, unfortunately that won't be making an appearance this evening, but you know, I'm quite happy to be in the comms box, and even though it's roasting in the comms box, you know, it doesn't really matter. But as I say, Simon Smith for that Epson NSX, that's pretty amazing, I must say, and so is Technical Racing Jay Westall's Cusco. So you know, it does look very amazing to see. As I say, the tyres they will have to start, I believe they'll start on what they plan to race on, but when it gets to qualifying they will have to go and change to super softs, and then obviously when they go out into the race they have to pit to change to the tyre compound that they'll be using. It can be tricky, and it can be very interesting to see. The pit strategies do come into this. It is technically 50 minutes long, and you know, it is quite an amazing race, I must admit, when we get into the racing. But you know, first of all, you've got Paris, aka Illusion, with 138.2 there, so it'll be interesting to see what he does, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. So it will be very, very interesting for this evening, and I do enjoy the commentary. I do, do a lot of commentary myself. Sometimes it feels weird doing commentary than being out on track, but it is just how it is. So we've got 10 minutes until qualifying does due to start at Monza, and yes, Monza is fantastic. It is a brilliant circuit, and you know, as Jay gets it out, that would have hurt. That will hurt his budget there. But yes, so Darren Baldwin in the Jamaican me crazy, should I say? But nah, it's cool. The Jamaican Nissan GTR. He's normally in the comms box, but he wants to go at racing. So you know, half the time he wants to race, half the time he wants to be in the comms box. I don't have an issue, you know. As I say, he's got his beautiful. If we have a look, see if he's got it on the back of his car. Yes, he has. If you have a look at the bottom left of his car, he has technically Idol 4 Gaming, which is his beautiful logo, which I must say, it actually suits it, and it's really nice. he's obviously, you know, as I say, working really hard in the Eldar Sim racing. He's commentator for the Clio Cup that happens on a Friday evening. You know, it's fantastic to see that he's out there this evening. You know, he loves his racing as well, bless him. You know, I believe he's on the steering wheel again tonight, so hopefully he'll pick up the pace this evening, as you know, he was doing well at Bathurst. You know, he never gives up, same with anyone else, but I believe let's see what happens. So you've got Scott Drifter, Christian Swire, that hosts this series for the Eldar Sim Racing. He does a fabulous job, and I must say it is a pleasure to be part of this series. So yes, it will be very interesting to see what they do in 8 minutes time when qualifying actually begins, because not only is Monza very fast and flowing, but these GR2 cars, the JTCC cars, are top-notch cars. So we'll see what happens. Obviously you'll see variations of pit strategies this evening, and yes, it can be quite an amazing atmosphere. So yes, you have yours truly, the one and only Hoppers, doing the commentary, and it will be technically a busy week this week for me, but I'm looking forward to see what happens. You know, I've got a lot of faith in these guys that race. You know, these cars aren't easy to drive. As I say, I've raced the first round at Interlagos, and you know, they are not the easiest to drive. They are quite quick and they are quite powerful, but you know, you get used to it, and it will be very interesting. Neil Hall, Noddy's mate, or Zippy's mate as we'll call him, or we'll call him Zippy, don't ask why, but you know, he's in the beautiful green and grey. I made him that livery, so if you do want a livery making, I can make one for you guys. I do not mind it. You know, I enjoy making liveries, I enjoy racing as well. So I'll just grab a quick drink and then we'll gear up for the 10 minutes of qualifying with around 7 minutes to go. So I'll see you guys, well, make that now 6 minutes to go until qualifying. Okay guys, so we'll be getting ready for qualifying in around 5 minutes time. As I say, we are at the Palace of Speed here at Monza in Italy, the Autodromo di Monza. Bloody hell, it's nearly Italian then. Sorry for the language slip then for a minute, but yes, that was almost Italian. But yes, it was going to be very fantastic. As you can tell, Noddy's mate Neil Hall, 6th fastest at the moment in testing. I'm going board with him just for a quick lap, or just half a lap. As you can see with these GR2 cars, or Japanese Super GT cars as they are in real life, they are quite quick and they are quite powerful. So I believe Neil here, I do like the paint job I've done for Neil. Obviously, his beloved colours are green and yellow. From being a Norwich City fan, he'll hold that against me. But 3 minutes until qualifying actually does start, so it will be very interesting as he fires his way out of Ascari. So we've got 3 minutes until qualifying starts there. It will be very interesting, and we will see. So it is going to be very interesting, as I believe we've got excuse me, so we've got STM Splash in the Honda NSX there. I believe he's from Lithuania, so he's sporting the Lithuanian flags, which is quite very interesting to see, and it will be one of them. I'm just keeping an eye on certain things. Evening, Jay, how's it going, mate? Looking forward to tonight. Should be good racing per usual. Yes, it should, mate. It will be potentially interesting, as I say, mate. Car's looking quick, I must say, mate. You know, it's going to be close between the GTRs and obviously the NSX. So yeah, brilliant, mate. I'm looking forward. As I say, you're looking forward to this evening. So am I, mate. Funny enough, I've been looking forward to. I was actually looking forward to be racing for once, but you know, Darren wants to take over racing for a bit, so. But yeah, it's nice to be in the comms box as well, so a bit of variety. But yeah, hope it goes well for you, man. And you know, it will be one of them. So, as I say, there may be, I believe there's a slight delay. We're just waiting for, I believe, Andy White to get in. Yeah, as you say, mate. You enjoy Monza. You just got to keep it on the, black stuff. This is the thing with Monza, because it's so. Some of the corners like Variante Ascari and obviously Latafilio and Vodiger and stuff like that. Evening, Neil. How's it going, mate? You looking quick, son? But yeah, it will be potentially very interesting to see. As I say, but so yeah, just bear with 1 second. So as I was saying, yeah, getting it wrong, Rodrigo and Vatafila, and hey, Neil, you are looking quick, mate. You're doing quite well, mate. Don't worry about it. But yes, getting it, you know, you've got to keep it onto in Variante Ascari and Vatafila and all that. It's very technical, and especially when you go through the Palibolica at the last corner, because it's so long to get the line in. You know, it will be interesting. The Lesmos are quite technical as well. You know, Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2. You know, they are quick right-hand corners, but hopefully everything goes very well. You know, it will be potentially, as I say, very amazing, but we do have potentially some time before qualifying starts. If you see some of the guys starting on the tyre compounds that are due to start the race on, don't worry, they will be changing super soft ready for qualifying, and it will be potentially amazing to see. There is going to be hopefully Andy White joining the lobby, but we shall see. So yeah, as I say, you normally have the delight to me out on track, but obviously Darren in the Jamaican, I believe he's there, yes he is, in the Jamaican, we'll see, we'll watch what Joe Westall can do here for a moment, just in that beautiful Cusco NSX, as I was saying. But that's the point. If you know, it's going to be very interesting to see. But yes, I believe if you start, it will be very interesting to see what happens. Obviously, with qualifying, you're on super softs for qualifying, and also you are going to be potentially it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. So we've got Simon Smith followed by Technical Racing at the moment. So super softs are only for qualifying basis, and then you will have to, obviously, if you go out on the tyres, like say for instance racing softs, you have to pull into pit lane to go and change them. It should be interesting. So we'll see what the two Honda NSXs of Simon and of course Jay can do here. Beautiful looking liveries, I must say. The Lithuanian of STM Splash, his NSX looks the business as well. The whole cars themselves actually look really interesting, and you know, these GR2 cars, as I said before, are pretty decent. You know, I don't know what happened to Jay there. We can't just watching it back actually on the stream delay. He just got it clipped the curb going out of Rodeo or however you pronounce it here. But it will be interesting. We're just waiting for, I believe, Andy White to enter the lobby to see whether he will be joining this evening. But that beautiful Epson NSX, you know, it amazes me what people do with liveries. You know, okay, I make liveries myself, but to see some other liveries like that, it's just like, wow. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. So we do have, I believe Darren was off going into sort of, he's third fastest at the moment in practice, but well, I believe he's just stopped there on the entry to Parabolica. So that'll be very interesting to see. I believe Godgift John aka Panos in the white and blue, so it'll be Greek style flag GTR, the Clio Cup champion of this Eldar Sim Racing series. So we've got 1 minute to start, so we'll see what happens in qualifying. I believe qualifying is going ahead as normal, and it will be 10 minutes. As Darren's just put, he's eating jerk chicken. Dude, you're making me hungry. You're making me want some. Scrummy yummy, mate. But yes, Darren would normally be in the commentary box, but you know what Darren's like, he likes to race, and it will be potentially be very interesting indeed. So, you know, but yes, qualifying is about to start now for 10 minutes. It will be very interesting to see what the guys can do within 10 minutes. That would have looked very expensive. Getting it back, mate. Yeah, fair play, mate. As I say, mate, either way, I was happy to do whatever you're happy with. So everyone is technically now going to go out for qualifying. They are technically going to get going. We'll just make sure everyone goes up pit lane. I believe Nick just stays behind for a couple of moments while he deals with family commitments. Let all hell break loose, yeah. It'll all break loose, mate. Going into turn number 1, mate. It's alright, mate. You know you're welcome. Anytime, I'm happy to do whatever you want, mate, you know. I don't mind being in the comms box, you know me, mate. if you like racing, then you know it's one of them. But you know you'll be okay. But best of luck, pal. But yeah, as I say, it'll be interesting to see what these guys can do. We've already got, I believe it started 10 minutes, I'm not too sure, but we've got 8 minutes 43 on the clock, so got STM Splash there, going through Ascari. Gets a bit crossed up. It's very, as I say, these cars are very quick. And look at this is only on the outlap, but this is what the racing could provide. I believe Illusion has his indicator on to try and make a move on Scott Drifter on his outlap, but as I say, it will be potentially interesting to see what happens. They're on their outlaps, but if they're going to go, I believe they're going to be changing tyres now, because they've come in to start for potentially so there you go, look at this, cars are coming into pit lane because they will have to change tyres to go onto the super softs for qualifying. So at the moment STM Splash will be on his outlap. So this is the joys of this series. You know, you can go out on the tyres you plan to start the race on, but then you have to change to super softs. Obviously it's a new thing, and it's potentially, it's not, it may sound complicated, but it ain't. But we will see what happens with the times on the board. Do a Mexican accent like mine, horn. I don't know, I could do a Jamaican accent. Yeah man, where's my Jamaican? But yeah, that would, but I'm screaming. I do apologise for the swearing in the background. Jen was swearing, so I do, as I say, I do apologise. But yeah, as I say, I do apologise for the swearing. It wasn't intentional, but you know. As we'll see what the guys can do. I believe the guys at the moment, Illusion and of course Rob, are still out there. But you know me, I ain't racist, mate. But so yeah, I do apologise. Just keep an eye on the times here. So far you've got Illusion with 1:37.9. You've got Rob with a 1:38 points, I believe. So this is going to be very interesting, the guys that are on super softs at the moment. So you got Phil with a 1:43.1 at the moment, Jay Westall just in front with a 1:42.3, and then you've got Rob obviously there, but Jay Westall, we'll see what STM Splash can do. He's just powering his way with 5 minutes 24 on the clock, so yeah, it's looking like it's going to be pushing. I don't even know what Rasclap means, mate, but you'll have to tell us at some point. Yes, it will be very interesting. So we've got 5 minutes remaining of qualifying, and I believe at the moment Illusion and Rob are now changing tyres to super softs, but you've got STM Splash there about to complete the lap as he goes with 1:39.4. You've got Scott Drifter with 1:39.1 there, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens. You've got Jay Westall 5th fastest at the moment. You've got Phil Wilson just coming across the line now, but I believe there's a yellow flag as Simon sets a 1:42.2. God Gift John does 1:38.9, which pushes him up into 3rd place. Darren comes across the line with 140.0. Neil Hall with 145.0. Excuse me. And it'll be very interesting with 4 minutes remaining in the 4 minutes remaining of qualifying. But it will be very amazing to see what happens within. Obviously this evening you got Nick still in pit lane, but I believe he's got other things on at the moment, which is fair enough. So we've got 3.5 minutes until qualifying. We've got the boys that are on that lap, still Rob and of course Paris, but we'll see what happens here. So you got God Gift John at the moment chasing down Simon Smith, just for a bit of a link and a toe really, just to see what happens during this qualifying. But yes, as STM Splash goes with a 138.8, then you got Christian with a 138.5 there. So God Gift John at the moment caught up in traffic at the moment, but through the parabolica. He's going to see. We'll see what he does now. He's essentially steaming up to the line. Just 138.866 there. So got 2.5 minutes remaining of qualifying. So it will be interesting. So you got Paris and Scott Drifter up into second place at the moment. You got Noddy's Mate with 141.7, which brings him up to 7th fastest at the moment. But it will be amazing. You know, we've got 2 minutes 10 seconds jumping into the rest of qualifying, and it will be very interesting to see what these guys can do. You got God Gift John, okay, Panos just firing out of Rodigon, I believe, or however you pronounce it. The second chicane, heading into the first Lesmo, and then out of the second Lesmo. Jay Westall now up into 7th because he did a 141.4, which was a couple of times quicker than Neil there. So you got Rob just coming through up towards the parabolica. Is he going to make it a second pole position? He got beaten by Ryan at Bathurst with 1.5 minutes remaining of qualifying at the moment. So you got STM Splash as Rob goes fastest there with a 137.9. So you got STM Splash with 138.5. So you've got Rob versus Illusion, and then obviously Scrap Drifter and STM Splash. You've got I believe Panos there in 5th place. You've got Darren in 6th place. Good showing from Darren, as Phil does a 141.4, so that brings him up to 8th. So Neil Hall, Noddy's Mate, is down in 9th. Darren goes still 6th fastest. Neil's now up into 7th place there with 140.6 there, so that's brought him back up with half 30 seconds remaining in qualifying. It will be very interesting to see what happens. But yes, it's going to be one of them. And you know, this qualifying session has been so far very interesting and technically very interesting as technical racing. Jay Westall does a 114.999, so yes, it will be very interesting. I believe there was a yellow flag going into turn 1, so qualifying is now finished. So the guys that are on their flying laps potentially will be ready to. Scott Drifter does a 138.2. So far you've got Rob from, of course, Illusion from Scott Drifter, from STM Splash, God Gift John, Darren currently in 6th place. You could see what happens with the Jamaican mobile. It's quite cool. It should be sponsored by that Jamaican food guy. I can't even remember his name, but it should be sponsored by that. It'd be hilarious. But you know, Simon did a 141.0. Darren still finishes 6th fastest there. You've got Noddy's mate just coming through now. Finishes up in 7th for qualifying, which is a good time for Neil. Got Jay Westall powering out of Variante Ascari. I don't know if he's got his hazard lights on for a reason, but he is 8th fastest at the moment, Simon Smith. So the two guys, all three of them actually know each other quite well for somewhere or another. But so you got Neil from Jay from Simon, and of course Phil on his debut in 10th, and Nick Sargent will be out on the last row of the grid, so he'll be on the last position on the grid for Nick there in the Sunny D sponsored Nissan GTR. So as I say, it will be interesting. Qualifying now has technically ended, and it will be very, very interesting indeed. So we are getting ready for the race. It is a standing start here at Monza, and we've got Rob from Paris, from Christian, from Splash, from Godgift John, from Darren, from Noddy's mate, Technica, Snod, and of course Phil and Nick rounding up the field. So here we go for Monza. It is going to be very interesting. So don't be alarmed, guys, if you see the cars going into pit lane, but they will be getting the green flag from the back of the grid as the red light comes on. It's about to change to green any moment now. Let's see who gets away and gets a good start into the Ratafilio into turn number 1. So far from Rob, he's got a good start coming into turn number 1 here. Paris thinks about making a move as he does, cuts the chicane there, but that will have cost him time because it has pushed him back down into, I believe that's pushed him down into 11th place. So far he's battling with Nick Sargent at the moment, so this is going to be fantastic stuff. But Nick is going to be pushing on in the Sunny D. So you've got Paris there in 11th due to obviously making a move onto Nick Sargent there. You've got Noddy's mate, and I believe that was Phil there making a bit of contact, but you know, Neil Hall down in 12th place, and well, 11th place should I say. Got Phil Wilson so far in 9th place. We'll see what's going on the front. You've got Darren up into 5th, Jay Westall up into 6th place at the moment. But we'll see, we've got the battle for Scott Drifter and of course STM Splash as Christian makes the move into 2nd place so far, going into Ascari there as Godgift John gets a bit crossed up, or gets a bit loose onto the runoff area there. So we'll see what's happening further back in a moment. Rob's trying to eke out that lead, and yes, they have started on the tyre compounds that they're hoping to start on. You've got STM Splash still trying to make a move on Christian as he does going into Ratafilio, or towards Ratafilio. You've got Godgift Johnson going to try and make it 3 wide going into Ratafilio. Who's going to be the last of the breakers? I believe Christian's just got that move sewn up. You've got Godgift John up into 3rd place, STM Splash into 3rd place, but Godgift John is in 2nd place. You've got Technica Racing and Dan Baldwin there battling for 5th and 6th. You've got Illusion in 7th, you've got Simon in 8th, you've got Nick Sargent 9th, you've got Phil Wilson 10th, and of course Noddy's mate Neil Hall in 11th. So far this battle's galore here, but Rob's eking out that gap as Scott Drifter has a 5-tenth penalty. So STM Splash trying to chase down Godgift John there for 2nd place. So we'll see what happens. You've got ESR Idol potentially closing up onto Christian Swire there, but at the moment STM Splash trying to make a move down towards Ascari. This is going to be interesting as he tries to make a move on Panos there for 2nd place, but Panos closes the door. STM Splash is still there, chasing him down. ESR Idol up into 4th now, Technica Racing 5th, and Illusion in 6th place. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. You've got Illusion now taking 5th place from Jay Westall. You've got Scrap Drifter, Christian Swire in 7th, Simon in 8th, then you've got Nick in 9th, then you've got Phil, and of course Neil Hall in 11th place at the moment. But you've still got this battle between God Gift John and STM Splash. But God Gift John fights to move into Ratifilio, going into 2nd. Is he going to break? STM Splash on the inside, and then trying to go on the outside. You've got Darren Baldwin up into 4th place, and then Illusion followed by Technical Racing and Simon and Scrap Drifter, and of course Simon there as well. You've also got Nick in 9th, then you've got Phil, and then obviously Neil Hall at the rear of the field at the moment. But this is going to be very interesting. You've got God Gift John trying to hold off STM Splash at the moment. We'll see what goes on. But this is going to be fantastic. As I say, STM Splash and God Gift John are still battling. Illusion's got past Darren Baldwin for 5th place. And then Darren's still pushing on. He makes a bit of a mistake going out the 2nd Lesmo, which is allowed Jay Westall to get past him into 5th place. He's got to be careful because he's got Christian Swire behind. Potentially now 6th place there. Yes, Christian makes the move going into Ascari. So we'll see what happens further up. And that's the one, mate. Levi Roots, that's the one. But yes, so you got the Levi Roots Mobile, as I'm going to call it. It was Illusion there in 4th place, just appears in front of Jay Westall. Jay Westall's going to be pushing on, but STM Splash and I believe God Gift John at the moment are still battling. You've got Illusion versus Jay Westall, and then Scrap Drifter versus Darren. So that's going to be very interesting as Jay Westall tries to make a move into Ratifilio there. I believe Darren and Christian are still battling for 6th and 7th. You've got Simon Smith also joining into this battle now. You've got Nick Sargent, the Hammer Games, just in 9th place at the moment. We've got 44 minutes and 18 seconds till the race finishes. Phil Wilson in 10th place. And Neil Hall at the back after an early incident, but STM Splash now has a bit of a battle on his hands as God Gift John drops back into 4th from Paris there. So the 2 Greek lads will be battling. Christian Swire has a bit of a fishtail. We saw the back of that. I don't think he was, he got it wrong going out of the 2nd. Lesmo just clips the curb, which unsettles the car, which has now pushed him, I believe that's pushed him down to 9th place. Yes, it has. So you got Nick in 8th, you got Simon closing up onto the back of Darren Baldwin, and also Technical Racing. So it's going to be very interesting indeed. And the guys will be potentially thinking about their pit strategies. Has got God Gift John trying to hold off from Technical Racing at the moment. You've got Illusion out in 3rd, you've got STM Splash 2nd, you've got Rob in 1st place, still eking out that gap as Jay Westall tries to make a move on God Gift John going to Ratifilio. Is he going to make it, or they're going to make slight contact? But Jay Westall up into 4th place in the Cusco Honda M6. So you've got Darren Baldwin trying to chase down God Gift John, and of course Jay Westall. You've got Simon Smith chasing him down in the Epson Honda NSX. You've got Scrap Drifter back up into 8th place now, with Nick Sargent in the Sunny D Mobile. So the Orange Juice Company versus the Orange car there. So the 2 Orange Mobiles are chasing each other there for 8th and 9th. You got Phil Wilson in 10th and Neil Hall in 11th. So far we'll see. I don't know what's happened to Jay Westall. He's dropped it, going out of the Lesmo there, or trying to, I believe he just clipped the dirt, so that's pushed him back down into 7th place. And Christian and of course Nick are still there, but at the moment you've got God Gift John in 4th place. Darren Baldwin gets a bit crossed up coming out of Variante Ascari, but he's still on the tail. He's also got to be careful because Simon Smith in the Epson Honda NSX will be closing up into his rear view mirror very shortly. But it's a good showing from Darren at the moment. You've got God Gift John still in 4th place, then you've got Illusion and STM Splash trying to chase down Rob, but Rob's about 6.2 seconds up the road, so you got Illusion and of course STM Splash, the two guys that made their debuts at Bathurst last week. So Illusion so far has the fastest lap of the race. God Gift John still trying to chase down these guys, but he's also got ESR Idol and of course Simon Smith trying to chase him down. But we've got 41 minutes remaining. This will be very interesting to see what the pit strategy. Jay Westall there recovers into 7th. You got Scrap Drifter, Christian Swire in 8th place at the moment. You've got the Hammer Games and of course Phil Wilson. I don't know what's happened to Neil, which is a bit unfortunate, but you've got Simon trying to chase down Darren, but Darren's slowly getting onto the back of God Gift John as God Gift John gets it wrong going out of the Lesmo, the second Lesmo there, so that allows Darren up into 4th, and you've got God Gift John now trying to defend from Simon Smith going into Variante Ascari. Simon Smith tries to think about making a move on the inside. He's trying to picture his move in the head, but God Gift John at the moment gets crossed up into Ascari, but he goes very on the defensive. You've got Simon Smith followed by Technical Racing, so these guys will be closing up. You've got Scott Drifter and the Hammer Games, and of course Phil Wilson in 10th place. But STM Splash is now almost getting a mirror full of Illusion there for the 2nd place. God Gift John jumps into pit lane, so we'll see what happens. The guys are onto their pitch strategies now, so that has allowed Simon into 5th, and of course Jay Westall, the two Honda NSXs, the Epson versus the Cusco Mobile, and I believe Scrap Drifter also goes into pit lane, which has allowed Nick Sargent up into 7th place. So we'll see what's going on, but Illusion now has caught the back of STM Splash going into the first Lesmo here. And it goes into the second Lesmo. We'll try and go on board if we can. Go on board with Illusion there for a couple of minutes, trying to chase down STM Splash, going down into towards the Ascari. This is going to be very interesting. And STM Splash there closing the door. Just bear with while we get the camera back. Yes, so there you go. So you got STM Splash coming under threat from Illusion for 2nd place at the moment. Is he going to make the move into Parabolica? We will see. But this is going to be I'm going to see what happens. But you've got STM Splash and Illusion. You've got Darren Baldwin there in the Jamaican car, so far in 4th, but we'll go back to this battle between Illusion and STM Splash as Darren actually makes it into pit lane, so that will allow excuse me, Simon up into 4th, got Nick Sargent 5th, and you've got, I believe, Technical Racing. I don't know what's happened to Jay, but Jay's dropped down into 9th place there. So we'll see what's happening with STM Splash as Illusion actually gets the move done into 2nd place. So we'll see what happens. So far, we'll see what happens. I believe the people that have pitted. We've got Darren's come out on the Racing Hards with quite a bit of fuel on board. Got God Gift John on Racing Softs at the moment, and then you've got ESR Idol obviously battling away. You've got Christian Swire on in 8th place there, and then you've got Phil, and then obviously Joe Westall comes out of pit lane with racing mediums and a full tank of fuel, so it'll be very interesting to see. You've got Illusion there jumping in 2nd out of Ascari, so I believe Illusion and STM Splash may make a pit stop this lap. So it will be very interesting. So you've got Simon Smith there, also probably going to make a pit stop. He's having a good showing in 4th place at the moment. So yes, STM Splash and Illusion will make a pit stop. You've got the Hammer Games Nick Sargent in 5th place. You've got Rob leading the race so far. He'll make a pit stop probably this lap, but we'll see what happens. You've got Nick Sargent. Okay, the Hammer Games, what's he going to do? Is Simon makes a pit stop, and so does Nick. So that will allow God Give John potentially up into, I believe he's pitted and put the racing softs on. So that will allow him potentially into 4th place, as well as Christian Swire and of course Darren Baldwin. They're battling for 5th and 6th at the moment. So we'll see the 2 GTRs are almost in each other's boot there. But this is going to be very interesting as Scrap Drifter gets a bit of a gap there from Darren there. But we'll see STM Splash rejoins in 2nd place from Illusion as he gets it wrong going out of Rodigo. And Illusion gets past, but at the moment Illusion's picked up a 5/10 penalty, so that will push him a bit there. So you got Scott Drifter still in 5th place, you got Darren 6th, you got, excuse me, Simon in 7th, followed by Nick, followed by Jay Westall and Phil Wilson, who's just come out of the pits and put racing mediums on and a full tank of fuel. Rob's going to pit this lap. He's got a bit of a gap as Illusion fires it into a Scary there. He's going to potentially be a force to be reckoned for, but it will be potentially very interesting to see what happens. Got God Give John, aka Panos, in 4th place at the moment. You've got Scott Drifter and of course Darren Baldwin for 5th and 6th, and you've got Nick Sargent battling with Simon Smith at the moment. So both the excuse me, Nissan GTR versus the Honda NSX at the moment, and obviously Jay Westall and of course Phil Wilson rounding up the field. So we'll see what happens with 34 and 19 seconds remaining. So you got Rob still out. He's got racing hards and a bit of fuel on board, so you know he's probably going to be pushing on for potentially quite some time. You've got Illusion still there with his racing softs, and you've got STM Splash, and you've got Scott Give John. Scott Drifter now has a bit of a gap from Here's How Idle. You've got Snod finally got past Nick Sargent for 7th place, but Nick's not giving up at the moment, so he's going to be still chasing him down for 8th. You've got Jay Westall 9th, and of course Phil in I believe 10th place at the moment. So it'd be interesting to see what these guys can do. You've got 33.5 minutes remaining, but it is going to be quite interesting to see. It seems to me that, you know, the Honda NSX guys are, you know, really dialed in this evening, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens. So we'll see what's going on further back, but there is not really much battles apart from the battle between Nick and of course Simon. So we'll see what happens going into Ascari with 33 minutes of this race remaining at the moment. Simon gets a bit crossed up into Ascari, which is allowed Nick Sargent alongside, so Nick tries to make a move for 7th place, which he does. But yes, Jay Westall 9th, Phil Wilson in 10th. So you've got the Hammer Games and Simon Smith still battling it out here for potentially 7th and 8th. You've got Scrap Drifter ahead of Darren Baldwin at the moment, but Darren is in 6th place. You've got God Give John 4th, STM Splash 3rd, Illusion 2nd, and of course Rob still out in the lead after making his pit stop in the Nissan GTR. But you've got the Hammer Games Nick Sargent, the founder of ESR, in 7th place. Then you've got Simon trying to chase him down in that beautiful Epson Honda NSX. Technical Racing, Jay Westall is 9th. and then you've got Phil Wilson still in 7th place there, but you've got Illusion and SM Splash in 3rd, 2nd and 3rd. You've got Rob still up in 1st place on the road. Scott Drifter 5th, Darren Baldwin 6th, Nick Sargent at the moment, the Sunny D man, nice looking livery dude, in 7th place, followed by Simon in 8th, and then you've got Jay Westall 9th, and then of course Phil Wilson 10th. Fortunately we lost Noddy's mate excuse me, in the early part of the race. I don't know exactly what happened to him, but hopefully he'll be back next week. So you know, the gaps are building up a bit, so Jay Westall trying to push on to get up to this battle between Nick and of course Simon there. But you've got Rob closely now getting chased down by Illusion there, so you've got Parrish trying to chase Rob down, and I believe it is going to be quite interesting with 30 minutes and 40 seconds remaining on the clock. It will be spectacular. So you've got Illusion in the Cartoon Network Nissan GTR Bear Bears, whatever Bear Bears is. So you got him, you got Illusion, you got Paris trying to now chase down Rob. So I don't know whether Rob's struggling or he's just pushing on a bit. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see. So you got this battle for 1st place now brewing as we go into Ascari. This is going to be technically exciting with half an hour remaining of the race. So we've got half an hour left of the race. It is going to be potentially very exciting as Illusion tries to make a move into Parabolica as he's actually made the move as Rob struggles, but Rob is going to potentially carry on and push on. We'll try and see what happens, but Rob's not giving up just yet as we see Rob right on the back. We'll come to this battle, and SCM Splash is still 3rd. But you've got Illusion followed by Rob, so the two GTRs are battling away. You've got Scott Drifter gone into pit lane, so we'll see what he's going to do. God Give John still in 4th, and ASR Idol is now 5th. There he is. You got Nick Sargent in 6th, and then Simon, and then of course Jay Westall's made a bit of a mistake somehow, which has pushed him into 10th. You got Illusion still from Rob, SCM Splash and God Give John. Then Darren, of course, Nick Sargent in 6th place now. And Scott Drifter just comes out in 6th place. He's got a full tank of fuel on the racing softs. So it will be very interesting to see. And Simon Smith in 8th. You got Phil Wilson and Jay Westall. So it will not be very long until these two have a bit of a battle. So you've got the GTR versus the NSX. You've got two GTRs at the moment battling for the lead, and we'll see what happens. We'll come back to that battle in a moment as Illusion fires it into the Parabolica. Still in 1st place at the moment as Rob carries on trying to crack on. You've got STM Splash and God Give John slowly trying to catch him up with Darren Baldwin and Nick Sargent there in 5th and 6th. Got Scott Drifter 7th and Simon in 8th. Then you've got Phil Wilson making his debut in this series in 9th place, followed by Jay Westall in the Cusco Honda NSX. Tried to chase down the Axon GTR there as we go towards Variante Ascari. So it will be very interesting to see what happens with coming up to 27 minutes remaining of this race. So you've got quite some battles potentially going to be brewing, but you've got Illusion now got a gap from Rob going into the 2nd Lesmo there. And so you got STM Splash now getting chased slowly but surely by God Give John. So you got another Honda NSX and GTR battle. You got Darren, and then of course Nick Sargent, and then Scott Drifter, and of course Simon there. But you got Phil Wilson and of course Jay Westall chasing each other down. It's going to be a NSX versus, well, GTR versus NSX battle. But this is going to be now or never. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with these guys. It's going to be potentially that Phil Wilson will try and fend off from Jay Westall there. As we got technical racing 5th place, but we've got 26 minutes. Coming to 26 minutes as STM Splash and God Gift John make their second pit stops of the evening. You got Darren Baldwin potentially going to be into probably pit lane this time round. Nick Sargent will probably take 5th place at the moment. So you got Rob there in second. You got Illusion in 1st place. So I believe Nick Sargent now up into 3rd place in the Sunny D GTR. STM Splash out into 4th place. God Gift John out in 5th. Scott Drifter in 6th. Then you got Simon Smith in 7th. Darren's just come out with full tank of fuel on his racing softs. We're coming up to 25 minutes remaining. This race is going really quick this evening. Jay Westall jumps into pit lane, so that will be very interesting. You've got this battle between STM Splash, the Hammer Games, and of course God Gift John. Well, God Gift John is trying to make a move on to Nick Sargent towards the Lesmo. You got Scott Drifter there as well joining in the party, so it will be very interesting. You got Scott Drifter trying to make a move in the second Lesmo, but God Gift John closes the door there. This is going to be very interesting. So I believe Darren is, as I say, Darren's rejoining racing softs. Rob's jumped into pit lane, so it will be very interesting to see what happens. Illusion still out in 1st place with just 24 minutes 20 seconds to go. So you got God Gift John and of course Scott Drifter battling towards Varian into the curve of Parabonica. Yes, God Gift John and Scott Drifter banging door mirrors, but this is going to be fantastic. Nick Sargent there still in 4th place. STM Splash in 3rd place. Rob's just come out of pits, racing mediums and a bit of fuel. So we've got Illusion still out in 1st place at the moment. You've got STM Splash, Nick, followed by God Gift John and Scott Drifter. Simon still up there in 7th place at the moment in that beautiful Epson GTR as he gets it crossed up in outer Ratafilio there. I won't worry about that too much, mate, you're fine. But you got Darren Baldwin, okay, is our idol, just now onto his boot lid. Phil Wilson jumps into pit lane. I'll just double check what Jay Westall in a minute. We'll see what happens. But going into Rodrigo there, Darren makes the move on Simon Smith there. Jay Westall came out on racing hods on a bit of fuel, so Phil Wilson's gone on racing softs and a full tank. And obviously Jay Westall will potentially be catching him up for 9th place, but we'll see what happens as Illusion jumps into pit lane. He's got onto the mediums and he's got a bit of fuel with 22 and a half, coming up to 22 and a half seconds, 22 minutes and 22 and a half minutes remaining as he gets crossed up into Ratafilio there, which is going to just cost him a bit of time there, because as Nick Sargent makes it into pit lane, it'll be interesting to see what changes on STM Splash. Still in 3rd place at the moment. You've got Scott Drifter 4th, you've got God Gift John 5th, and then obviously Darren Baldwin now, because with Nick making a pit stop, it will bring him into 6th place. Good showing from Darren with 22 minutes remaining. So Simon Smith also goes into pit lane. Jay Westall has made the move on Phil Wilson while we're looking further up the field, but obviously Jay is fighting back from essentially a few mistakes. You got Phil Wilson making his debut in the series. He's doing quite well so far. So far, Illusion still leading the race with 21 and a half minutes remaining. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do between now and the last couple of minutes of the race. But you know, you've got Rob still in 2nd place there. You've got STM Splash 3rd, Scott Drifter 4th, you've got God Gift John 5th, Darren in 6th place, Nick in 7th, Simon 8th, Jay Westall and Phil Wilson still having a bit of battle for 9th and 10th. So it will be very interesting indeed. I cannot believe what I've seen tonight. This has been fantastic racing from each and every one of these guys. It's been an absolute privilege yet again. So you've got Phil Wilson trying to chase down Jay Westall, but it will be very interesting. You've got Illusion still leading from Rob from STM Splash, Scott Drifter, and of course God Gift John. You've got Darren there in 6th place in the Jamaican car. That is going to be fantastic. Darren is obviously pushing on. We've got Nick Sargent, the founder of VSR, just about to cross the line. The fastest lap so far is by Illusion with 138.056. You got Simon still in 8th. Jay Westall now has a gap from Phil Wilson in 9th place, and then Phil rounding up the field in 10th place. But so far there's not really many battles galore, but STM Splash is now, don't know whether he's struggling a bit, but he's got Scrap Drifter, aka Christian Swy, behind him. So we've got 20 minutes of this race remaining, and then you've got God Gift John also trying to make up some ground. Then you've got Darren Baldwin still in 6th place. Then you've got Hammer Games in 7th. Then you've got Simon Smith in 8th. Then you've got Technical Racing, and then Phil Wilson bringing up the field. So STM Splash going out of Ascari now has a bit of a gap from Christian Swire, but Christian will be on a move. He's actually gaining on STM Splash as we go towards the Parabolica, slowly but surely. But this is going to be very interesting. We've got 19 minutes, come up to 19 minutes remaining, and it will be very interesting to see what goes on. I believe further up the pack, yeah, so at the moment you got Nick trying to chase down Darren, but he will do in the Sunny D GTR rather. But Darren goes into pit lane. I believe that might be a scheduled stop, I should say, but that brings Nick up into 6th place now with 18 and a half minutes remaining. So you've got STM Splash still trying to hold on to 3rd place because Christian Swire is coming up close and personal. So you got God Gift John still in 5th place. You've got Hammer Games 6th. Darren out on his out lap on Racing Soft on a full tank of fuel. So that'll be very interesting. He's rejoined in 7th. So you got Simon there in 8th, Technical Racing, Jay Westall 9th, Phil Wilson, and then Nissan GTR 10th. So you've got 18 minutes remaining, but you've got STM Splash still under threat, slightly but surely from Scott Drifter there. So we'll see what happens, and it will be very interesting indeed. But we shall see. You got God Gift John into 5th place, got Nick Sargent there, 6th place, Darren in 7th, Simon 8th, Jay Westall 9th, and Phil Wilson 10th. Illusion still out in front from Rob, followed by STM Splash, but we will have Christian Swire is gaining and gaining, and this is going to be very interesting, breaking into Vatafilio there. as Christian actually now gets onto the boot lead of STM Splash going out of Ratifilio. This will be very exciting indeed. Christian Swire there in the orange GTR versus the Honda NSX of STM Splash. STM Splash makes a break. He tries to hold on. He's got Christian Swire there trying to chase him down. Christian's lost a bit of ground, but this is going to be fantastic. Excuse me. As we'll see what happens. We've got 16.5 minutes remaining, but this is going to be very, very interesting indeed. So you got Scott Drifter chasing him down, and I believe Rob's still out in second place at the moment. We've got STM Splash, and obviously Scott Drifter 4th. So we'll go back to that battle with Nick Sargent in 6th. Darren still in 7th place. Then you've got Snod and Technical Racing, the two NSXs in 8th and 9th. Then you've got Phil Wilson in GTR 10th. So you've got STM Splash and Christian Swire trying to make a move. I believe Christian's dived into pit lane. So we've got, which is now going to have a bit of a gap for STM Splash there. So you've got the Hammer Games Nick Sargent into 6th place at the moment. It may push him into potentially 5th place depending on if Christian gets out of pit. Oh, what's happened to Darren? Darren's dropped. Oh, where's he gone? That was a good showing. But that, I believe, Christian's now come out into 5th place. Nick Sargent 6th. Snod Simon Smith is in 7th. You got Jay Westall 8th, and then Phil Wilson 9th. But at the moment, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. You got 14 and a bit. Oh no! Oh, that's not fun, mate. Oh, Darren's disconnected. Oh, mate, I feel your pain. So we've got 14.5 minutes remaining in this race. It will be very interesting to see what happens. Got God Gift John in 4th. You've got Scott Drifter 5th. You've got the Hammer Games 6th. You've got Simon 7th. Phil Wilson now 8th because of Jay Westall into the pits. He just comes out onto the racing softs and a full tank of fuel. So we've got 14 minutes remaining of this race, and you know it is going to be very close. It is going to be one of them. God Gift John jumps into pit lane. So what is Panos going to do? We'll see what he can do. Whether Scott Drifter will make it up into 4th. Yes, he will, because with Panos in pit lane there, which is allowed obviously Nick Sargent also up into 5th place. So there will be potentially battles for 4th or 5th and 6th, but it will be very interesting. Panos joins back in the race with a full tank of fuel and racing softs. Oh mate, that's disappointing. You're doing so well as well. Absolute gutted for you. But you've got Simon Smith in 7th. You've got Phil Wilson still in 8th place at the moment. You've got Jay Westall in 9th. So we'll see what happens. STM Splash still from Scott Drifter, from Nick Sargent, and of course God Gift John from Simon, and of course Phil, and of course Jay Westall. Illusion still out in the lead with 12.5 minutes remaining. Coming up to 12.5 minutes remaining as Rob jumps into pit lane. So I believe Illusion will be pitting this lap. STM Splash also jumps into pit lane. So that probably allows Scott Drifter, if he gets his foot down and puts his foot down to the metal and presses the loud pedal loud enough, that he will catch up to these guys and potentially come into, I believe Rob's gone from softs onto a full tank of fuel, but he's come out into second place there. So SDM Splash still in pit lane. At the moment he's gone to racing softs and a full tank, but he's actually come out into third place, but he's got Scrap Drifter and of course Nick Sargent chasing him down, so he'll be on cold tyres at the moment. So at the moment SDM Splash on cold tyres, Christian Swire up and close and personal again, so this battle will be raging for third place. You've got Christian there potentially trying to get past SDM Splash there, and then you've also got Nick Sargent, God Give John in 6th. But we'll go back to this battle. Christian Swire makes a move. What an absolute fantastic move. That was fantastic. But you've got Nick Sargent in the Sunny D lurking in the background, and God Give John in the blue and white GTR. So you got GTR from GTR, then NSX, then GTR, then NSX, and GTR and NSX. As Illusion jumps into pit lane, we'll see what he does. He was almost running out of fuel then, but Phil Wilson jumps into pit lane as well. So very interesting with 11 minutes remaining. So you've got Rob potentially now probably going to take the lead of this race, but Illusions just jumped out on racing hards and a bit of fuel on board. Let's have a look. Yes, he's got a bit of fuel. He's got a bit more fuel on there, but he's got, I believe, so you got Scott Drifter still third at the moment, as Nick jumps into pit lane there. Got Simon from J, so J in 8th place at the moment. So it will be very interesting as Phil Wilson, I believe, full tank of fuel, but he's on the wrong compound. But Illusion there still out in the lead with 10 minutes to go. So it's 10 minutes to go of this race. It's been all exciting, I'll tell you this. SDM Splash and Scott Drifter still actually technically battling. Two ticks then, mate, I'll invite you in. So yeah, I do apologise guys, just sorting something out. So it will be interesting with 9 minutes remaining in the race. Let's see what happens here. So we've got Christian still into place, and it will be potentially a battle between him and SDM Splash. So SDM Splash there from God Gift John as well, and then you got Nick Sargent on his outlap with 8.5 minutes remaining. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. So you've got Simon Smith on his outlap, and then you've got Technical Racing still in 8th place, and I believe, yeah, so we've got Paris with a penalty there. So you got Rob in 2nd, followed by Scott Drifter, still in 3rd place at the moment, followed by SDM Splash, and then God Give John still in 5th place. And then you have the Hammer Games again, Nick Sargent, the boss man of VSR, in 6th, and Simon Smith still on his outlap, but he's doing very well in that beautiful Epson Honda NSX. Then you got hello mate, and then Joe Westall. Oh, I don't know mate, he's struggling, isn't he? But then you've got Jay Westall 8th, Phil Wilson 9th, But I believe Rob is struggling at the moment. He's on racing softs, but he's got a bit of tyre wear on either side of the tyres. But we've got 7 minutes remaining as Joe Westall gets crossed up going to Ratifilio, I believe. So it will be very interesting to see what happens. Christian so far still in 3rd place. And then you've got STM Splash in 4th, then God Give John in 5th, then you've got the Hammer Games Nick Sargent still in 6th place, followed by Simon and Jay Westall, and of course Phil Wilson. But it is going to be interesting with 6.5 minutes remaining, as Illusion still leads the race. He's actually been leading for quite some time in that Bear Bears Cartoon Network machine, so it is going to be very interesting indeed. And then Rob's still in 2nd, trying to push on, but I don't know whether he's struggling or, you know, he did say that Monza isn't, he's quick around here, but we'll, you know, he must be feeling very tired one way or another depending on what he's doing. So we've got 6 minutes remaining, and Scott Drifter still in 3rd place at the moment. So it will be very interesting indeed to see what happens. You've got STM Splash still trying to chase him down, but then it will be quite very interesting because, you know, with this race being how it is, it's obviously exciting. So we've got 5.5 minutes coming up, so this is where it will get down to the nitty gritty stuff of the race, and it potentially will be one way or another. But I believe so he's still got God Give John in 5th place from Nick Sargent there, and then obviously Simon Smith still 7th, and then Joe Westall in 8th place. So it's going to be very interesting with 5 minutes remaining in this race. It seems like the race only started a handful of laps ago, but you know, it's very fantastic to see. But you know, it is going to be potentially interesting. You've still got Phil Wilson out in 9th place. You know, fair play to Phil making his debut in this series. These cars, as I say, they aren't easy to drive, but it's going to be very amazing to see. So you've got Illusion there still out in front, and then obviously Rob still trying to chase him, but you know, Rob's not been quick around here at the moment. You know, he's obviously struggling in that GTR at the moment, but it will be very interesting. Scott Drifter still in 3rd place at the moment, followed by STM Splash from God Give John. But it is going to be very interesting. The Hammer Games in 6th place at the moment, followed by Simon, followed by Joe Westall and Phil Wilson. And it will be potentially one of them with 4 minutes to go, guys. So it's 4 minutes to go in the race. It's going to be probably very interesting, but as I say, Paris there in 1st place, Rob trying to chase him down, but it's going to be very interesting indeed. As I say, got Scott Drifter still in 3rd place with 3.5 minutes of this race. It has been fantastic this evening, I must say, but I do feel sorry for the likes of Neil and of course Darren dropping out of the race. It's not been very good for them, but you know, Darren has driven so well until his engine had a misfire, should we say. But you know, God Give John still in 5th place, and the Hammer Games Nick Sargent still in 6th place at the moment. You've got Simon Smith potentially in 7th. Simon missed last week at Bathurst, but you've got Rob and Illusion, but there's a car between, obviously Simon's between Illusion and I believe Illusion and Rob there. You got Technical Racing Jay Westall still out in 8th, Phil Wilson doing a fantastic job in 9th. Then you've got so you've got Rob trying to chase down Illusion for 1st place with 2.5 minutes remaining of this race. It's going to get very exciting with 2.5 minutes remaining, but I must say, you know, it's been fantastic. And also Scott Drifter still in 3rd place. That'll be a good showing for Christian. And you got STM Splash in 4th place, followed by God Give John, and then Nick Sargent in the 54 machine, the Sunny D machine. 6th place Scrap Drifter actually now goes into the pits. I believe that'll be his last pit stop with 2 minutes remaining. But STM Splash will be now 4th. God Give John is now 5th, but Christian Swire now rejoins in 5th place there, because Panos now takes 4th place from him because Christian has gone into the pits. Christian gets a bit crossed up and knocks one of the bollards going into Ratavilio, and then Nick Sargent there in 6th place. Then you got Simon Smith still in 7th, Jay Westall still in 8th, Phil Wilson in 9th. Then you've got Illusion still leading from Rob, but we've got coming up to a minute remaining of this race. I believe Rob's struggled like mad around here this evening, you know, since as he crosses it up into Ascari. It's not like Rob to make many mistakes. I believe it's getting the better of him at the moment. You know, the tyre wear's coming on a bit now with Simon Smith there, still in 7th place, but you know he's got a bit of a penalty, which is a bit unfortunate there. But STM Splash still in 3rd place. You've got God Give John 4th, you've got Scott Drifter 5th, and we are technically on to coming up to the final lap of the race. He's still got 30 seconds, coming up to 30 seconds remaining. You've got Rob there still trying to hold on, so whoever, you know, it will be very amazing, as you know, these guys, I believe God Give John jumps into pit lane at the last moment. It's going to be very interesting. Scott Drifter now takes 4th place, so God Give John with taking a pit stop. So you've got Hammer Games, Nick Sargent crossing, well, that's crossed the line, so these guys may be on to the final lap of the race. So you've got Simon Smith still in 7th, and it will be the final lap of the race. You've got Phil Wilson will technically be the first finisher, but he will finish 9th. That's a good showing. So you've got Illusion there still in 1st place. Rob still in 2nd, then from STM Splash, from Scott Drifter, from God Give John, and Nick Sargent, and of course Simon Smith and Jay Westall. But at the moment, Paris there in the Bear Bears Cartoon Network car will be coming home to take a first victory in the series in the GTR, unless he makes a mistake, and that will allow Rob into 1st place. But at the moment, after 50 minutes of racing, Paris will take a victory and Rob will come home in 2nd. Fair play to Rob. STM Splash will come home in 3rd place. Simon actually finishes 7th, so STM Splash will come home in 3rd place. You got Scott Drifter, Christian Swire coming home in 4th place. Then you've got God Give John will come home in 5th, and then obviously Nick Sargent, the Hammer Games, the main man of Eldar Sim Racing, will come home in 6th place. And then you got Jay Westall will come home in 8th place. And I'll tell you what, this has been a fantastic race this evening, and I can't believe what I've seen. But yes, this has been an absolute epic race. Congratulations to Paris for taking the fastest lap and also the race victory. But it will be potentially one of the best races I have ever seen. I'll save the replay, and I will get the results as well from potentially. I won't worry about it, mate. You know, it's one of them, isn't it? So I'll just get the screenshot of the results, and then I will give you guys the results. So in 1st place was Paris, followed by Rob, followed by STM Splash, and then Scott Drifter, God Give John, and the Hammer Games in 4th, 5th and 6th. Then you have Simon Smith in 7th, followed by Jay Westall and Phil Wilson, and then obviously sadly we lost Darren and of course Noddy's mate. Fastest lap actually went to Illusion with 138.056 on lap number 5. So it is going to be absolute amazing to see what happens next week. I don't know where we are next week, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens next week in the JTCC Japanese Touring Car Championship. It will be a absolute will be amazing, but hopefully I get to see where we are next week. So just before I go, so yeah, I'm just going to find out where we are next week. And I'll tell you what, it's been really good. The GR2s are living up to expectation, and it will be round number 4 next week, and we'll just wait and see where we are next week to find out. Oh, it's going to be Blue Moon on the infield on the A circuit there, so it will be another interesting circuit and potentially another kind of an amazing circuit. So yes, I've been Hoppers for this evening, and the one and only, and I will see you guys maybe sometime soon in the commentary box, and hopefully we have a good couple of weeks racing. So yes, thank you for letting me join in the comments box this evening. It's been fantastic as per usual. So until next week guys, ta-ra.